What is going on, guys? My name is Chuck Butler and you are tuning into the Stock Talk Sunday. And in this video I go over what I plan to trade for the upcoming trading week. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to go over my main watch list first, which are the tickers that I trade on a weekly basis. Then we're going to go over my watch list, which are tickers that I usually just watch for the viewers, and I break it down for some friends as well. And then we're going to go over the futures, and the reason why I go over the futures is because the ETFs that I trade, they are connected with the futures. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go over to the SPY first, SPY. So let's go ahead and talk about this. As you can see, that SPY has been on a monstrous uptrend. Here, let me go ahead and show you this trend line. Boom, bam. See right here, bounce right there, bounce right there, bounce right there, ascending uptrend pattern. It recently broke it last week, right here, but it caught itself. Here, let me go ahead and remove this, forming what I believe to be, here, let me go on the one I'll try. Another ascending uptrend pattern, as you can see from last week, it hit a resistance at around 267.05, so I have my alert set for the break of 267.23. As you can see, bounce right there, what I'm expecting it to do for the upcoming week on Monday is to bounce near this trend line or on it and then continue to trend up, possibly breaking out of new highs of 267. So that's going to be it for the SPY. Let's go ahead and break down ticker symbol DGAZ. This is a leveraged 3 times ETF for natural gas, DGAS, the bearish version, and then UGAS is the inverse, the bullish version, and they both follow the future /NG. So let me go ahead and break down NG first. So I really wouldn't need to break down UGAS or DGAS because NG is directly correlated with DGAS and UGAS since it's the natural gas ETF. So let's go ahead and zoom in. As you can see, I have an ascending uptrend pattern. It's pretty simple enough, drawn for natural gas. Bounce right there, bounce near here, bounce on there. Let me go ahead and erase this. So it double topped last week at around 320, so I have my alert set for the break of 320 because I believe that if it can break 320, we can possibly see higher highs. So what I expected to do next week is come down to this on the trend line or near it and continue to bounce back up, confirming the ascending triangle pattern and potentially breaking out at the resistance at around 320. So I am bullish on natural gas this week if it continues to hold and follow the trend line. So let's go ahead and just look at DGAS, see as natural gas, see ascending uptrend pattern. As natural gas moves up, DGAS moves down. So what I expect DGAS to do is to hit the top of the trend line, continue to trend down. UGAS, it's the bullish version. So look, bounce right there, resistance at around 48.43. So what I expect it to do is continue to trend down towards the ascending triangle, the ascending trend line on the ascending triangular pattern, but it doesn't have to. So yeah, let's go ahead and move over to the oil future /CL. No, excuse me. Bam. Zoom in on here. As you can see, last week I believe that it was trading in a horizontal pattern in between. Yeah, let me go on the 1 hour chart. I believe that /CL is trading in a horizontal pattern right now. See this downtrend, then we see a bit of a consolidation right here. Let me show you. Consolidation right there, another downtrend right here, more consolidation. Then the reversal started happening around right here. You see this uptrend right here. Boom, bam. Let me go ahead and delete this. The ascending uptrending pattern started right here. Then what I can see right now is it is hitting a resistance at around 54 and finding support at around 52 here. Let me go ahead and draw a blue support line. I like to draw, well, let's say around 52. I like to draw blue lines for support and red lines for resistance points. Bam. And I like to use purple dotted lines as minor resistance points. So yeah, and then just red lines as resistance points. Change this to blue since it's not a resistance anymore. So yeah, what I can see is another consolidation phase. Yeah, let me go ahead and draw you a square. Another consolidation phase right here with 54 being the resistance. So I believe that if it can break 54 and break the previous high of around, what's that? Break the previous high of around 54, 52. We can see a continuation of an uptrending pattern confirming the reversal. See, consolidation, downtrend, consolidation, uptrend, consolidation. So what it's going to do out of this box is either continue to trend down, or if it breaks 54 and breaks 54, 52, continue to trend up. So that means for the tickers UWT and GUSH, which are correlated towards the oil futures, the bullish version, since these are also leveraged 3 times ETFs, I believe that they're going to be on an uptrending pattern as well. UWT follows Forex.CL more than GUSH, GUSH and DRIP. DRIP is the bearish inverse of GUSH. They follow XOP a little. They follow the ETF XOP a little bit more, better. But you really wouldn't need to look at XOP because they're exactly the same. But yeah, let's go ahead and break down UWT. As you can see, UWT is on another ascending triangle pattern. We have a lot of these this week, and I love these because these are very easy to trade. As you can see, hit resistance clear as day near 14. See, bounce right here, bounce right here, bounce right here, bounce there. So what I expected to do is trend down on Monday towards the EMA line. It doesn't have to, but that's what I'm predicting. Or it can just break the new highs of 14 already, or continue to follow this into the end of the pattern and then decide whether it wants to break down or break out. So I'm going to be bullish on UWT for the week. Let's go ahead and look at ticker symbol GUSH. Was consolidating last week at around highs of 12, between lows of 11. Decided to trend up, hit a resistance at around 13, caught itself at the bounce zone at around 10.50, and as you can see, as I said before, these purple dotted lines are used as minor resistance points. So it didn't exactly bounce near there, but what I expected to do is test it and then continue to trend up, possibly testing the resistance it had at 13 again. So for at least the first 2 days or the first day, GUSH, I'm going to be bullish on GUSH. So that's going to be it for that. Same with DRIP. Trended down towards lows of around 9.80. Decided to trend back up and got rejected at around 12.22. And it might be forming a maybe forming a bull flag right here. I'm not too sure yet. The pattern would need to fully form, but I did set my alert. Let me go ahead and set that a little bit lower. 1060. And if you're wondering what platform I'm using, this is the Thinkorswim desktop application. It is free if you sign up for an account for them, which requires no minimum account fee. Just to actually let you guys know that. So I set my alert for DRIP if it decides to break lower lows of the last green candle. Yeah, let me go ahead and set my alert for GUSH if and when it breaks previous highs, 11.84. Then let me go ahead and set my alert for if it breaks lows. Alright, so let's move over to DWT, the inverse of UWT. See, ascending triangle, DWT, descending triangle. It's hitting the top at 1.1, 0.2, 0.3, and then getting lower and lower until it eventually breaks out below 940, confirming the descending triangle pattern. Now let's move over to the last future, ticker symbol /GC, the gold future. Last week it was consolidating for a bit between highs of 12.96. Let me go ahead. And then lows of 12.87.3. Oops. Bam. Bam. Alright, but then last day on Friday, it decided to have a monstrous uptrend, breaking out higher highs of above 1300, which was a previous resistance. So what I expected to do next week is, it looks pretty overextended on the 4-hour chart. Here, let me go ahead, use the 1-hour chart for more. Yeah, see this big red candle? I mean, this is the daily chart. So what I expected to do is pull back to previous lows, because previous resistance points are known as previous support points once, the stock breaks the previous resistance point. So what I expected to do is pull back to lows of about 1296 around this area. Let me go ahead and draw it as a blue line now since the candle is above it. Let's get in a little bit closer on the action. Yes, he broke 1303. So what I expected to do is come back to lows of around either 13 or 1298 or 1296, but around this general area. So let me go ahead and set my alert for the break below 1300. But right now, I believe that gold is overextended, so I would need more days to formulate a better analysis. Let's go ahead and look at its leverage 3 times ETF, which is ticker symbol JUNG. This is the bullish one. See, the resistance at around 1045. That was about 3 weeks ago. Between 2 or 3 weeks ago, had a descending pattern. Yeah, let me go ahead and remove that. That's over. Hit a resistance at around 960. Bam. And as you can see, it has already formulated a red candle, insinuating that it might pull back, which I expected to do because this is pretty overextended. So maybe back to lows of around 920. Let me go ahead and set my alert for if it breaks 920. And another support at around 9. Yep, that's going to be that for that. Then it's inverse JDST. Since JNO trended up, that means JDST is going to trend down. Had a beautiful ascending uptrend pattern last week, which I took part in. I did not take part in. Sad face. Beautiful uptrend, hit a resistance at around 5450. Couldn't break that. And then boom, got smacked down, broke both minor resistance points, and it's caught itself at a support at around 4670. So I already set my alert for the break of, yeah, let me go ahead, kind of below. Then if it breaks that, the next line of defense for support is around 46. So I already set my alert below that. Yeah, this is gonna be it for my main watch. Let me close that. Let me close the futures. Then let's go over some of the hot trending tickers. Oh yeah, and it's earnings. It should be earnings next week. Let's see, it's the 27th. Oh yeah, this is gonna be earnings on a lot of things next week. So go ahead and watch out. Apple is gonna be on the 29th, so it should be Tuesday. But as you can see on Apple, I already have a resistance drawn at around 158 here. Let me go ahead and erase this. Since the market is starting to show signs of it rallying, I expect all tech stocks to rally as well, especially if SPY can break that resistance at 267. But as you can see, it has formulated a resistance at around 158. So what I expected to do is, if the trend is strong enough, it might break it, insinuating new highs, and the next resistance is around 161.55, but it also may break down as well. But I would be cautious playing this. I would basically wait until earnings. But SPY, yeah, look at that, hit a resistance near the previous gap. So this is pretty good for an uptrend. Apple's been, as the market has been recovering, so has all the tech stocks that it took with it. Let's go ahead and move over to, ticker symbol IND. Earnings is on the 29th as well, Tuesday. Ascending uptrending pattern, broke a resistance at around 22 now, and what I expected to do is continue to trend higher towards highs of around at least 23, but I can't be too sure yet. It does look overextended on the 4-hour, so I do expect it to pull back. Here, let me go ahead and extend this trend line to see if it stays true. Let's see. I expect it to pull back two lows of around 2150. Go ahead and set my alert for the break of that. But like I said, there are a lot of tickers having earnings this week, a lot of name brand big companies. So I would rather trade those and analyze those the day after. Facebook. Facebook, since market's been going up, so has all the other tech stocks, trending up, ascending uptrend pattern. Let's see, that's over. Caught itself at around 42. Let's say 144. That's a wick. Oh, change that to blue. Alright, bam. There is a previous resistance here at around 150, clear as day. Yeah, okay, let me go ahead and set my alert for the break of 150. Alright, then the next previous resistance is around 152. Let's look at, Home is one of the ones that I was watching last week. I went in and set my alert for the break of 23. Started to trend up pretty well. Has a resistance at around 23. Set my alert right there. Nothing too much on that. Then I see a next resistance at around 24 at least, and from 23, if you decide to swing it or day trade it, 23 to 24 offers 4.71%. Not too bad, not too bad. MDR was another one I had on watch. Let's see, uptrending, consolidation, resistance at around 920. If it can break that, I see next resistance at around 1030. From 920 to 1030, it should offer a decent amount, at least over 5. Yep, around 11.69%. Not too bad, not too bad. Now let's move over to ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And this one, I have no idea why it's trended, why it's trended the way it has in the past year. I just go with the flow. I see a resistance here. Let me go draw this as a red line since it's underneath. You can use 300 as a resistance, which I expected to. Earnings is on the 30th. Nice. Let's move over to the last ticker symbol, Twitter, ticker symbol TWTR. Had a nice uptrend on Friday as well. Next resistance at around 33.92. I already have my alert set for the break of that. Earnings on the February 7th. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit further, probably most likely next week. So yeah, that's going to be it for this Stock Talk Sunday. Don't forget to comment down below if you have any type of questions or concerns, or if you would like me to break down anything before or after the week has started already. So yeah, that's going to be it for this Stock Talk Sunday, and I'll see you guys later.